Alright, so one of the big things that you guys have been asking for on my Instagram story is a quick 10-minute work makeup look. So I wanted to show you guys that today. Doing your makeup in 10 minutes, you definitely have to pick what is most important to you in your makeup routine. For me, mine's going to be my brows, so I'll probably spend the longest amount of time on that. But before you do anything, you definitely need to make sure to cleanse your face. I go back and forth between using something from Kiehl's and using something from Real Norman, so whatever you want to use is fine. Just make sure to get everything off your face from the night before, and then use some kind of moisturizer as well. I have been using this Pore Perfecting Water Gel from Tatcha, which I really like. And then also make sure that you are using a primer. So I always use my Cover FX Mattifying Primer. That kind of sets your face, and then you're ready to go. So I'm gonna do my eyes first because that just seems to be the easiest thing for me to start with. I am going to use my Urban Decay primer, which actually I already have on my eyes. I love the Urban Decay primers. They're really great, super easy to use, and they keep my eye makeup from creasing all the time. So I am actually going to use my first Naked palette. It is literally, you guys, from my junior year of high school. So it's old, and you probably shouldn't keep your makeup that long, but I do. So you can see all of the colors that have been used. The brush just fell out, but I obviously love this palette, and I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon. So I'm going to start with a Merle, this is called Shell. It's a shadow that is just a really good base layer, and I'm putting that all over my eye. And I'm using this brush, which is just kind of an all over. It's great for an all over eye. When you are doing some kind of a quick look, you want to pick just a couple eyeshadow colors. You don't want to try to use a lot. So I'm going to pick a color called Buck from this palette and put it on my bone. And you can already see a difference. I am using this brush. This is my Saving Grace brush, so let's see what it is. It is a shader brush. It came in a set from Sephora. I really like it, and I use it every day. Then I am going to use Dark Horse in this palette for my crease and my corner. And I bring that down and shade it as much as I possibly can along that lash line as well. I'm obsessed with this color. This was like, well, it still is a go-to look for me, but it was my go-to look for years until I branched out away from this palette that I love so much. But this is a really good palette if you are someone who wants to do things quickly and just wants a palette that you can use literally for day, for night, when you travel, anything. I'm using a dome brush to do this, and really just making sure I blend into my crease and along my lash line. Okay, so that's great. And I'm going back to my shader brush that I used a minute ago, and I'm using Half Baked, which I have like none left, but I'm using as much as I can and putting that all over my lid down here. Now, some of you might feel like Half Baked gives you a little bit too much shimmer for work. If you do feel that way, you could totally use a different color. I personally don't think it's too bad. It's like enough that it's kind of luminous, but it's not overpowering. And it's like this really pretty gold that looks great on a lot of different skin tones too. Okay, awesome. So shadow is done. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my face. I haven't used my mattifying primer yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I cleansed my face before this tutorial and put moisturizer on. Okay, for foundation today, I am using a Naked foundation. It's their Weightless Ultra Definition Liquid Makeup. It's really nice. I like it a lot. Shake it before you use it. Put a little bit on your hand. This is not a full coverage, which is different for me because I usually really like a full coverage. It just kind of has that naked effect, which is really cool. So I am using this foundation brush. It's kind of an angled brush. I really like it for this foundation. You can use different foundation brushes. I think I have like 3 different brushes that I like to use for my foundation, just depending on what kind of coverage I want. But since this foundation isn't full coverage, this is a really good brush to use. Okay, so you can go ahead and go in with concealer now and use that wherever you want. I always use under my eyes, and I'll do a little bit up here on my forehead, my nose, and my chin. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. The color is light, which works well for me when I have a scent, or when I have a spray tan, and when I don't have a spray tan. So it's a good, like, easy color for me. And using my beauty blender to go in and just really blend that all out. Okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and go back and do my brows now because my brows are important, like I mentioned to you guys before. So I am starting with my Brow Wiz from Anastasia in the color Chocolate. You can comb your brows first if you want to. You don't have to, but it does kind of help shape them and get the hairs to lay where you want on your brows. I also, you guys, do brow tinting and shaping with Trisha Fish Beauty up here, and it has been a life changer for my brow game. With this, I just kind of outline my brows. It helps me figure out where my shape is, and then I go in with a different product to kind of fill in. Okay, sweet. So you can see that I kind of have my brow shape now. I am going back in with the Brow Powder Duo from Anastasia also. This is the color Auburn. With my red hair, this helps to make my brows a little bit more red also, so that everything goes together. And you want to make sure that you kind of smooth out any harsh lines that you've created. You can see down here that I've kind of created a harsh line, so you can go in with your finger, you can take a tool, but just make sure to smooth that out. I have made plenty of brow mistakes. I was actually just at a work event the other day and showing people my brow mistakes, and it's pretty embarrassing, so just make sure you actually know what you're doing, and don't let people sell you on things that you don't need, because I did that. Cool thing about the Brow Duo is that there are 2 different colors in these kind of powder forms, which is really great, especially if you do have different hair color. But it's important for your brows to have definition and to have shape, and for you to know, kind of where they need to start and end and that kind of thing. When you want your brows to be darker, kind of up here where your arch is and out towards the side, this is the perfect thing for you. Now, I know I'm at my 10-minute mark. However, I have been talking and doing my makeup at the same time, and we're almost done. So the next thing that I do is I am taking this Hourglass powder, and this is the Dim Light Ambient Powder. It is basically, I kind of think it's like a setting powder. It's not really, but it kind of gives you a really pretty luminous look, and it sets this foundation in a way that I really like, since I do tend to like a more matte look, and that foundation tends to be a little more luminous. You can see that that just kind of like helps set everything. Then I am gonna take bronzer, also Hourglass, and I'm taking a big fluffy brush and going up by my hairline and down my cheekbone. I clearly don't like to do my hair before I do my makeup. You guys know that if you've been following me. And I also am kind of highlighting my cheeks. You can see I'm not gonna go in today and do a contour since I'm doing quick makeup today. I'm taking a cheek color, and it is from Merle called Razzle Dazzle, using my blush brush. You want to go about 2 fingers away from kind of where your nose is, and that's where your blush should really start. You want to be careful not to get it too much right here on the apples of your cheeks, otherwise it looks like you have little like roses or little rosy cheeks, and sometimes it can just be too much. You just want it to be very, very natural looking. I mean, we're going to work, not out to the club, right? Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna go back to my eyes really quick. I am going to line this lower waterline. This is Teak from Merle Norman. It's a really nice brown. That is not way too much. It just gives you a little bit of definition. I'm going to do mascara and a lip color, and then we are done. So I do have lash extensions right now. I am using, I go to the Lash Lounge, and I am using their products because I'm using water-based mascara. This is actually kind of a like lash setter, I think, but it's black, and it helps my lashes to be full and pretty, and I almost don't even need mascara. I will use it. I use it pretty much every day, but sometimes I can get by without it. Again, I'm using water-based mascara from Lash Lounge. And I am using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on the bottom. It is great. I've been using it for a couple years now. Okay, so time for lips, and I am using the Lip Pencil Plus from Merle Norman in the color Mocha Honey. I am obsessed with these lip pencils, and you need them in your life. They have a liner side and a color side. So you can see that I'm filling in with the liner. I outline and then I fill in. And then take the color side and go over the top. And that is it, you guys. So again, perfect work look. This is super easy. Anybody can do it. You can set yourself with setting spray. That's always a good idea. It actually really does work. I didn't think it would, but if you go to an event for 12 hours and you use this versus not using it, I've tested this, it actually does help your makeup to just stay in place a little bit longer, which is great. Plus it smells amazing. So you are set for the day. Nude or like a kind of neutral lip is perfect for work. MAC has a couple cool colors. Twig is one of them, and it's really great as well, but definitely check out the Merle lip pencils. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this look, and more tutorials are coming your way.